They say time is the great equalizer, that no man can outrun the years. But then, there are the exceptions, the ones who defy the very laws of age. While most people grow weary, wrinkled, and worn down by the grind of life, a rare breed of men seem to walk untouched by the hands of time. You've seen them, the Sigma males. Mysterious, unbothered, and radiating a quiet strength that only sharpens with age. What makes them so different? Why do Sigmas seem to carry a timeless aura while others fade into the background? This isn't just about good genetics or lucky breaks. No, the answer lies in how these men live, think, and move through the world. Sigma males aren't chasing the crowd. They're not burning themselves out trying to impress, nor are they trapped in endless cycles of stress from trying to fit in. Instead, they conserve their energy, guard their peace, and choose battles that matter. And this way of life, it leaves a mark, not just on the mind, but on the body itself. While others crumble under pressure, Sigmas thrive in solitude. While others waste years chasing approval, Sigmas grow stronger in silence. Science shows that stress accelerates aging, while purpose and independence slow it down. The Sigma embodies this truth. Each wrinkle avoided, each ounce of vitality preserved, is a result of choices most men can't bring themselves to make, and the result an ageless presence that commands respect without a word spoken. So if you've ever wondered why Sigmas remain sharp, magnetic, and powerful long after others have lost their edge, stay tuned. Because today we're diving deep into the 7 powerful reasons Sigma males stay ageless, while the rest fade away. And trust me, by the end you'll see why the Sigma life isn't just a mindset. It's the closest thing men have to a fountain of youth. Reason 1, freedom from social pressure. The modern world is designed in a way that often depletes men before their time, not through physical aging alone, but through the invisible weight of constant stress. From the moment they step into adulthood, men are pushed into a cycle of relentless competition, racing for promotions, possessions, and social status. This endless climb is amplified by the noise of modern culture, where comparison has become a sport fueled by social media. Studies in psychology show that chronic stress triggers higher levels of cortisol, a hormone directly linked to premature aging, weakened immunity, and even shortened lifespans. For many men, the pressure to be enough in the eyes of others, whether through wealth, achievements, or physical image, leads to exhaustion that strips away not just vitality, but the very essence of youth. Yet the Sigma male walks a different path, one that offers a striking contrast to this burnout-driven lifestyle. He refuses to measure his worth by the yardstick of society, choosing instead to define success on his own terms. This rejection of the rat race does not mean laziness or lack of ambition. It means liberation from the need for external validation. By detaching from hollow competitions, the Sigma conserves his most precious resource, energy. Modern research in neuroscience confirms that a calm, balanced state of mind not only reduces stress, but also actively supports cellular repair, allowing the body to function more efficiently and age more slowly. Where other men crumble under the weight of expectations, the Sigma thrives in solitude and self-direction, avoiding the corrosive effects of stress that so often accelerate decline. He understands that true strength is not found in the constant grind, but in the mastery of detachment. This mindset grants him a form of resilience that keeps him sharper, calmer, and more youthful, even as others show the early signs of wear. The Sigma male's refusal to be consumed by the hierarchy is not just a rebellion, it is a preservation strategy. He sidesteps the invisible traps that drain life from so many men, choosing instead a life aligned with his values and inner compass. In doing so, he demonstrates a timeless truth, that peace of mind is the greatest anti-aging secret of all. While others chase approval at the cost of their vitality, the Sigma preserves both his spirit and his youth, proving that freedom, not frenzy, is the true key to lasting strength. Reason 2, self-mastery. Over stress, most men move through life at the mercy of their emotions, and it shows not only in their behavior, but also in their health and appearance. Anger, fear, and jealousy are not just passing moods. They create physiological storms in the body. When a man rages, his cortisol levels spike, his blood pressure rises, and his body enters a state of fight or flight. This constant stress response accelerates cellular aging, shortens telomeres, the protective caps on DNA, and increases inflammation, which scientists have directly linked to premature aging. Stress, in many ways, is a silent killer that doesn't just drain years off life, but also robs men of vitality, resilience, and clarity. Yet here lies the Sigma's advantage. While others are consumed by their emotions, he practices the art of detachment. He doesn't repress or deny what he feels. Instead, he observes those emotions like clouds passing through the sky, refusing to let them dictate his next move. This ability to remain calm under pressure is more than just a personality trait. It is a form of inner discipline that shields him from the corrosive effects of chaos. Psychologists call this emotional regulation, and studies show that people who master it live longer, healthier lives. It is why the Sigma, even when life throws him into storms, seems untouched by the wear and tear that ages his peers. While others panic and make reckless choices, his focus remains steady, his decisions deliberate. Over time, this mastery compounds. Lower stress equals stronger immunity, slower aging, sharper cognition, and even a calmer presence that others can feel. In essence, control over stress is control over time itself. Think of it like this. Two men face the same crisis. One explodes with anger, drains his energy, and leaves his body weakened. The other remains composed, conserving his strength and moving forward with precision. A decade later, you can see the difference in their faces, their posture, and their overall aura. The Sigma's secret is not found in external tricks or quick fixes, but in the cultivation of an inner fortress that stress cannot breach. By mastering his emotions rather than being mastered by them, he not only gains freedom of mind, but also bends the very perception of aging in his favor. In a world where stress shortens lives, the Sigma's discipline makes him appear timeless. Reason 3, solitude as renewal. For most people, loneliness feels like a heavy burden, a silent thief that drains joy, vitality, and purpose. Yet for the Sigma male, solitude operates on the opposite spectrum. It doesn't deplete him, it restores him. Alone time isn't a void to be filled, but a strategic sanctuary where his spirit sharpens and his mind expands. While many scramble to fill silence with noise and shallow relationships, the Sigma retreats to silence as if it were a wellspring of power. Science even backs this paradox. Studies in psychology show that intentional solitude can lower stress, improve memory, and even boost creativity, making isolation not a weakness but a hidden superpower. The Sigma understands this deeply, and while others age prematurely under the weight of social pressure, comparison, and endless obligations, he reverses that process by stepping away. His solitude works like a reset button, flushing out the clutter of the world, regenerating his emotional clarity, and aligning him with his true direction. Unlike loneliness, which is imposed from outside, solitude is chosen from within, and it is this choice that transforms time alone into a tool of rejuvenation. Consider how ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius or modern innovators like Nikola Tesla thrived in periods of deep seclusion. Their breakthroughs weren't born in crowded rooms, but in quiet spaces where thought could roam freely. The Sigma walks the same path. Solitude becomes his fountain of youth, not just metaphorically, but biologically, since quiet reflection and reduced social stresses are linked to lower cortisol levels and healthier aging. Each hour alone isn't wasted, it's investment. He meditates, strategizes, and rebuilds his energy, turning silence into fuel. This makes him appear timeless, almost ageless, because while the world burns itself out in constant chatter and performance, the Sigma is quietly recharging, conserving his vitality for what truly matters. People may look at him and wonder why he doesn't crave company. But what they miss is that his power comes from within, and solitude is the forge where that power is refined. To the outside world, it may look like withdrawal, but in truth, it is preparation, a hidden ritual of restoration that keeps his spirit clear and his vision sharp. For the Sigma, time alone is not a prison, but a palace, and in that palace he discovers something rare, the ability to remain youthful in mind, body, and soul while others fade under the weight of the crowd. Reason 4, strategic energy use. Every man wakes up each day with a limited supply of energy, much like a bank account. The average man spends his resources recklessly, arguing over trivial matters, chasing fleeting pleasures, and scattering his focus on distractions that yield little value. This constant expenditure leaves him drained, frustrated, and older than his years. The Sigma male, however, approaches energy differently. He understands that it is his most precious currency, and unlike money, it cannot be regained once wasted. Studies in psychology and neuroscience support this. Decision fatigue, for example, shows how making too many small, unnecessary choices throughout the day reduces mental strength and willpower. Sigmas intuitively sidestep this trap. Instead of scattering their attention, they conserve it, channeling their limited daily energy into pursuits that compound over time: personal growth, skill mastery, and carefully chosen relationships. He treats focus like a fortress, allowing very few things inside its gates. This is why others perceive him as calm, unbothered, and resilient, even in chaotic environments. Where most men burn out by overextending themselves, the Sigma thrives by staying selective. This principle is not only philosophical but practical. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and thinkers who manage their energy strategically outperform those who rely on raw effort alone. By investing energy in growth, a Sigma male compounds his vitality over years instead of squandering it. He avoids unnecessary drama and petty battles because he knows they yield no return, much like throwing water into the desert. Instead, he directs his inner fire toward endeavors that multiply, sharpening his mind, strengthening his body, and building rare but meaningful bonds. In doing so, he preserves his vitality, extending not just his stamina but also the quality of his life. While the average man grows weary from constant entanglements, the Sigma's discipline keeps him sharp, focused, and seemingly ageless. Energy, once guarded and wisely applied, becomes the silent force that sets him apart from the crowd. He doesn't simply survive each day. He engineers his strength, ensuring his limited energy fuels only what truly matters. And that is why the Sigma moves through life with a quiet power that others can't quite explain. Reason 5, detachment from drama. Conflict, gossip, and manipulation are often seen as mere annoyances in daily life, but in reality, they act like invisible corrosives, silently accelerating the aging process of those who dwell in them. Studies in psychology and health sciences have shown that chronic exposure to stress and toxic social environments increases cortisol levels, weakens the immune system, and even shortens telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of our DNA strands that are closely linked to cellular aging. Men who are constantly embroiled in arguments, absorbed by gossip, or manipulated by others often carry this stress physically, manifesting in premature wrinkles, fatigue, and even cardiovascular strain. The Sigma male, however, operates differently. He understands that not every battle is worth fighting, and that explaining himself to those who are closed-minded or malicious is a wasted expenditure of energy. This deliberate detachment is not apathy, it is strategic emotional self-preservation. By refusing to engage in the invisible war of social toxicity, he shields himself from the slow, invisible corrosion that eats away at vitality. He walks through life observing without absorbing negativity, maintaining a calm composure while others fray at the edges of their patience. Historical figures and modern psychologists alike have long emphasized the power of mental discipline in preserving health and longevity. The Sigma male embodies this principle naturally, demonstrating that emotional boundaries are as critical to well-being as diet and exercise. He cultivates focus and clarity, channeling his energy into growth, knowledge, and meaningful action rather than petty disputes. This resistance to drama creates a paradox. While the world around him churns with tension and toxicity, he remains remarkably unscathed, almost timeless in his poise. It is this refusal to be dragged into unnecessary conflict that allows him to age gracefully, both internally and externally. Observing such a man can be a lesson in restraint for anyone willing to learn. His life demonstrates that wisdom is often less about what battles you win, and more about which ones you choose not to fight. Where others carry resentment like a permanent weight, the Sigma male glides past with a clarity and serenity that radiates vitality, showing that detachment is not just a personality trait, it is a powerful tool for preserving not only mental peace but physical youthfulness as well. Reason 6, continuous self-improvement. The Sigma male possesses a mindset that fundamentally reshapes how time affects him. Unlike most men who often settle into routines and let life's momentum carry them forward, the Sigma views each year not as a countdown but as an opportunity to refine himself. Skills, knowledge, and discipline for him are not static achievements. They are investments that compound over time, much like interest in a high-yield account. Neuroscience shows that continuous learning and mental challenge actually strengthen neural pathways and can slow cognitive decline, which partially explains why individuals who consistently challenge themselves often appear sharper and more energetic well into their later years. The average man may plateau, accepting stagnation as inevitable, and in that stagnation, aging becomes more visible. Physical fitness can decline, mental flexibility can shrink, and a sense of purpose may erode. The Sigma refuses to fall into this trap. He treats each day as an upgrade, seeking mastery over new skills, exploring unfamiliar ideas, and refining both body and mind. This relentless evolution manifests as an unmistakable energy, a presence that feels vibrant, alive, and often ageless. Research in positive psychology emphasizes that personal growth, curiosity, and goal pursuit are strongly linked to well-being and resilience, contributing to the Sigma's timeless aura. Beyond intellect and discipline, his approach to life is deeply experiential. He travels, experiments, and tests boundaries, constantly collecting knowledge and refining his instincts. This motion, both internal and external, creates a feedback loop. Growth fuels energy, energy fuels more growth, and the cycle maintains his vitality. Culturally, society often praises youth as the pinnacle of energy and attractiveness. But the Sigma flips this perception. He demonstrates that age is not a limitation. It is a canvas for accumulation. Every experience, every lesson learned, every skill honed adds layers to his depth, giving him a magnetic quality that others can sense, even if they cannot articulate it. In essence, the Sigma's refusal to plateau is his secret weapon against the passage of time. While the world often measures aging in years or appearances, he measures it in progress, evolution, and mastery. His life is a living demonstration of the idea that vitality does not necessarily diminish with age. It compounds, grows, and transforms, leaving him perpetually renewed, timeless, and quietly unstoppable. Reason 7, legacy over vanity. Vanity is fleeting. Beauty, status, and public recognition are all fragile constructs, prone to decay and erosion over time. The Sigma male understands this deeply. While the world often obsesses over appearances, social validation, and material symbols of success, he invests his energy in pursuits that outlive the superficial metrics of life. Studies in psychology suggest that external validation, praise, admiration, and perceived attractiveness triggers only short-lived dopamine spikes in the brain. These rewards are temporary, often leaving a person chasing the next fleeting high. In contrast, focusing on mastery, purpose, and meaningful achievements produces long-term satisfaction and resilience. The Sigma's attention is on impact, the knowledge he accumulates, the skills he hones, the influence he imparts, and the legacy he builds. He recognizes that status can rise and fall, beauty will fade with age, and trends are cyclical, but true mastery and meaningful contributions echo through time. Historical figures from Leonardo da Vinci to Nikola Tesla embody this principle. They were not obsessed with vanity or fleeting admiration, yet their work continues to inspire centuries later. This mindset grants the Sigma a sense of timelessness. Unlike men who tie their self-worth to how others perceive them, whose confidence ebbs and flows with compliments, the Sigma's confidence is intrinsic, rooted in substance rather than surface. He measures his value by growth, by how well he lives according to his principles, and by the positive effects he leaves on the world. This internal focus also impacts his presence and demeanor. A man who pursues meaning radiates an energy that transcends age. He is calm in the face of superficial judgment and unshaken by societal pressures, because he knows his worth is not bound to physicality or social rank. Moreover, this dedication to enduring qualities cultivates wisdom, patience, and depth, traits often admired subconsciously even by those who prioritize appearances. In a society obsessed with transient beauty and ephemeral prestige, the Sigma stands apart. While others may frantically chase mirrors and likes, he quietly builds, learns, and influences, leaving footprints that withstand the erosion of time. As a result, he possesses a rare kind of agelessness. He is not frozen in youth, but his essence, impact, and influence remain vibrant regardless of the years. In a world addicted to vanity, the Sigma thrives on substance, proving that true immortality is achieved not through fleeting admiration, but through meaningful, lasting contribution. The Sigma male doesn't try to outrun time, he masters it. Unlike those who scramble to defy aging through fleeting trends or vanity, he approaches life with discipline, detachment, and clarity, bending time through deliberate choices and self-mastery. While others expend energy chasing illusions, the Sigma conserves his strength, renews his focus, and rises above trivial distractions. His agelessness isn't about escaping the effects of time. It's about refusing to waste himself on what lacks meaning. By staying curious, remaining unseen, and moving through life unfazed, he becomes not only resilient but also quietly unforgettable, a force shaped by purpose.